Father. Yes. Yeah? What? Oh yeah, work kind of sucked today because like I had my hard hat on, but then I also had to have my clear shield on top of that, and then I put my respirator on top of that. So every time I like leaned my head back, I would go, ah, fuck. Yesterday, no. Today, I started feeling it in the neck and like upper shoulders. Oh, I told you, man, we should have went live earlier so we could do all that shit talk and everyone would hear us. Maybe. Well, we were shit talking. Thank you. It is close to your mouth. That's pretty hot. Oh shit. Well, never mind then. Oh wow. Nah, you have your aesthetic. You still stick that. That's what's important. What? Oh, yeah, I think I saw her Instagram post. I mean, like, alright. I mean, is that any different than any normal used car salesman? Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to find the difference. No, you see the shit boxes I've driven. Bro, it's because every like 2 weeks I have to put another like 5 quarts of oil in it. Well, because it's a new 5 quarts every 2 weeks. Like a new truck every 2 weeks. I still don't have brakes. That taillight has been busted for over a year. Not me, apparently. Nobody said anything about it.
Who's gonna say anything? Alright. We're in. We're doing it. We're doing the thing.
Woo! Hey, I can see you guys.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else is here, but I hope so. If not,
No.
Hello, Chris. If not, hello, audience, and everybody else. We're here. It's us. It's me and Micheal Johnson.
Hey, that's me.
That's you. We're gonna be talking about travel in the sport. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if are we getting Trash Night and the Young Lion. Are we getting audio coming out? Yeah, it is. We're working. Okay. My OBS was frozen for a second.
Gotcha.
I thought we didn't have audio, and I was very.
Chris says we sound good.
Yeah, cool. For once, things are okay.
See, that's the motivation we need to start that ska band.
Dude, I just was practicing my scales. Did I not tell you? We're actually starting a ska band. Did I tell you about this?
I mean, all right. I still need to get a trumpet.
Get your fucking trumpet because we don't have a horn section. So my buddy Jake,
I know Jake.
Yeah, he was there at the thing. He's teaching me guitar, so I'm gonna play power chords only. He's gonna play bass. I forget what his wife is gonna play in the horn section as well. So we need a drummer and like
Brandon
and maybe a lead singer. Oh yeah, so we'll get Brandon. We'll have a drummer.
And we just get Greg to be our lead man / singer.
Perfect. I'm in. He doesn't even have to sing. He just has to stand there and look handsome.
He's real good at that.
He's so good at that. And maybe
as
he
is
can
Brandon.
sing. I'll bet. Yeah, but like you can't have a drummer be your lead.
Name right.
Anyway, this isn't about fighting at all. So we're here to talk about travel, specifically the the costs and the benefits, mental, physical, monetarily, how to make it work, what you get out of it, just everything. This sport requires a lot. Like you basically can't play locally unless you happen to be lucky enough to live here or in Dallas. I think those are the only places I can really think about where you can play it locally. So we're going to talk about how to do that. Before we get into that, though, we're going to go over some Bohurt news. Warlord Combat Academy is doing another Friday Night Pro card on April... I didn't write down the date. Why didn't I write down the date? Cool. Well, I'm not going to look it up right now. You guys can go find it.
Like the 11th?
That sounds good. It's probably going to be a really good fight card. Sean Hansen versus Justin Doty look like they're doing a longsword pro fight, so that looks dope. Adam Harrington versus David Artie. Adam had a fucking stellar fight. Sure, the 6 sounds good, Julie. I trust you. Adam Harrington versus David Artie. Adam had a killer fight, so I'm super excited for that. Kenny versus Fritz. I don't really know much about what that'll be. And then Lind versus Julie. So I'm hyped for that as well. So that should be a good card. Everyone tune in to watch it. Also, in international news, Australia had a national selections tournament. The only thing I could find out of it, because I didn't have time to watch, is that Samuel O'Ride, the guy who's like this short, super like attractive dude with the black helmet that like is blowing up on social media, he got a lot of medals. That's it. That's all I know about who won, about who did well.
Side note on that, though, he had to take the blackening off of it and the Red Cross because, authenticity committee sucks.
No.
As
what?
Always.
That's why he had to...
All because of authenticity. At least that's what I saw from his Instagram.
Oh, my God. Well...
But he had some sweet takedowns. I'm going to watch those fights later, too.
Yeah, I can't wait to go watch that. I assume Colin's team did really well because it had Colin
Same
on
team.
it. Oh. Well, I'm guessing they won.
I'm not sure, but I know they're on the same team.
Yeah. Well, Sam had a shit ton of medals, so like they probably won based on that and the fact that it's the two of them and Colin. For training news, New England hosted a grappling seminar, which was really cool. Maybe we'll see some videos coming out of that. Armored practice grappling. So purely grappling focused, but in armor, working through how that feels out. And in the Midwest, Craig Ivey led a training ceremony. I didn't get any feedback on how good that was, but hopefully dope. Less news, more just things to keep track of. Iron Lions is doing scrimmage practices, so anyone who wants to go do scrimmages with the team down in Virginia, hit up Josh Kearney. You should go do it. It's dope. Also, Woodchuck Knight, Chuck Goodwin, he just put up a video on his YouTube that talks about positions and roles and provides a really good breakdown of what that means and whether they are valid in the sport. So yeah, everyone should go watch that. What's up, Gary? How you doing? Reminder, I've updated my Patreon rewards, so if you back me, you can send me footage to review or questions, and I'll answer them. Yeah, that's it for news, I think. Oh, ACW is fucking people. That's also news. The ACW is now charging people to support. It's $20 a year, which is not much, but like you have to pay to be a member to support for ACW. And they're also apparently claiming that they're the largest organization in America, which was news to me. I did not realize.
And had the largest
Yes.
nationals domestically.
They had the largest nationals event, larger than either of the Carolina Carnages or Reno or Blood and Steel or a variety of very large events that have happened recently. Much larger, much bigger, huge, huge.
Huge.
So that's a thing that's happening. And that's it. That's the news. um, this week's training challenge, based on my poor performance over the weekend, I was watching some of my footage and my striking was really sluggish. I'm just not sharp. I just think it's coming down to too long out of armor. So my challenge to myself and hopefully anyone else is put on your legs and throw kicks on your Pel with just your legs on. Then take those off and put on just your top. Maybe do this on 2 separate days. I don't really like doing too much fully training in a lot of armor. But anyway, put the top on, just the arms. You don't need your chest, and do your no rappel routine with your arms on, and see how much slower you are. If you have footage of you in it doing your Pel work without it, review the differences. See if you can figure it out. But also just get the feel. So that's the challenge. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's get into this. I wanted to bring Mikey on to talk about travel because he has traveled a lot for the sport, taking multiple 10-hour road trips during when he lived out in Nebraska. Yeah. I think you took like a 2-day road trip to Cali to the first one.
My first nationals, we took a train.
Yeah,
because we knew we wouldn't be able to fucking stay awake.
Yeah, which was like a ridiculous journey. He also moved out to New Hampshire, so we'll have some insight on what it's like to move for the sport. In case people talk about wanting to do that all the time, so. In case anyone else wants to do that, he can tell us what his experience was. So yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about it. So
right.
Yeah. Basically, what's sort of your general experience like? What's the longest trip you've taken?
The longest trip was probably to Portugal because it got extended. But stateside, my longest trip would have to be driving from Omaha to New Jersey for New World Cup.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, straight through.
Okay.
It was just me and my dad in this tiny little Honda Fit, I think it's called. Like my polearm for polearm duels was touching the back window and the dashboard at the same time. The entire drive, like we had that as a permanent armrest between us.
Yeah, I've done that. It's a yeah. You like if we crash, this is going to go through and like impale
into
somebody.
The dashboard, like the radio's gone.
Oh, mine was like pointed up, so it was going to go through my windshield and then into the next car. Yeah.
That's what I did with the truck, where it came off the front, so if I hit, it would launch. That one was always fun to imagine. But no, it was extremely long. We made good gas mileage thanks to the interstate not having a lot of cops. I think we made the trip in like 22, 23 hours.
One way?
One way, yes, one way.
Okay.
We had like no back seat. We couldn't even recline the passenger seat back for like comfortable sleeping. Like it was hell. But we made it to New World Cup and like it was a blast.
Were you able to fight after 22 hours in a car?
Yeah, so we had planned it to get there like just in time to go to bed the night before fighting,
Yeah.
which sucked, but I used pre-workout to wake up the next day, so I was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's how that
Yeah,
works.
I mean,
Just use pre-workout instead
I
of coffee.
I only broke a wrist and fractured my hip.
That was that year?
That was that year. That was one of them because we did that twice. So I also had to like drive back.
With a fractured hip
Yeah.
and a broken wrist. Ugh.
Yes, Julie, that's the one where I end up in the hospital and left early.
Yeah. Yeah. This. I remember watching that happen. You got fucked up.
Yeah, you like ran over to me and was like, "Do I need to stop the fight?" And I was like, "No, it's fine. Just let them finish."
Yeah, I probably should have stopped the fight though.
I mean, I was fine. I just
But,
couldn't
like,
walk on.
I watched that gap you. Like, I saw. I don't know if Nick saw it, but I watched like him like pick his target, and like as it landing, I'm like, oh, that's padding. That's just padding. There's no armor there. That's
Nope, it sucked. Shout out to Michael Lewich for having his cane there for me. That came in clutch.
Yeah. Someone should always have a cane around. We got to shave a head that night. Yes, that happened.
Yes, Gary, we did. That's a different topic.
Yeah, which probably should get covered at some point. How to party and how not to party and how to party anyway. Just do it.
Yeah, but driving long distance is not as great as flying for situations like that long. 22 hours is that's a hell of a drive.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it cheaper than flying?
Yes, it was cheaper than flying because of bags.
Right.
Southwest didn't have a good flight at the time, so I couldn't get a second bag, so that was going to be extra, and gas split between two ways. Just overall, it was cheaper to drive. It would have been easier to fly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been...
I also haven't been able to rent a car yet until midnight tonight.
Ooh, is it your birthday tomorrow?
It's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh,
I'll be 25.
Happy birthday. Why didn't you remind me? Because you know I don't know shit like that, so I could have put this as a happy birthday stream.
Oh, well, I didn't even think of it as a advertising point.
God damn it. You had people coming in, donating to the Feed Mikey's Beard Fund. Get the beard back.
Yeah, it won't grow all the way back. I gotta make sure I can at least somewhat wear a respirator at work.
What? No.
I don't want lung cancer.
No, lung cancer is worth it. To get the. You keep saying you want to die.
Yeah, I have exactly 5 years to go, so like I don't think it'll kick in time for that.
All right,
but
Jesus fucking.
But yeah, since I wasn't able to rent a car at the same time, it made flying a lot harder for me because I wouldn't be able to have good transportation at the event. Yeah. Because if you think about Uber or Lyft or whichever one of those you use, that's overall more, and it's a hassle with all of the bags with your armor and everything, finding the right size vehicle, because if some dude shows up with a 2-seater, like, I don't think they can, but still, it would suck.
Well, I mean, even just
I have to call a new one.
Yeah, even just
or I have to call a more expensive one.
Yeah, like even just fitting like a box into the back of a sedan doesn't always work. And like you're like, cool, well, go, because I need to.
And I've been a broke mofo for most of my fighting career.
Yeah. That tends to happen. The sport tends to make you broke. In addition to life choices, but like also the sport.
A lot of my life choices are also the sport, so it kind of lines up.
Yeah. We'll get to that. So did you only travel for large events, or did you do for large national events, or would you travel for like a chapter match or a training event as well?
So I tried to travel as much as I could afford at the time. Back when I was out in Nebraska, I was the regional commander for the old ACL out there.
Rip.
So rest in peace. I still need to fix the tattoo. It's fine. Uh, but so I would try to get to everything. I didn't get to as much as I wanted to because again, broke motherfucker. But I drove 6 hours from Omaha to Minneapolis to do a demo at a saber tournament. It was a lightsaber, like their
Okay.
nationals tournament, and we just did a demo that weekend at it, like in the next gym over, which was also a lot of fun. And I recommend traveling for even the little things if you can, even if you're brand new. It's probably not as beneficial if you don't have armor, but if you do have armor, you want to get to everything you can.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't have armor, like I've seen people show up to events and someone's like, "Yeah, you can use my armor for like the second half of this." Like, and like
Yeah,
trying to secure it beforehand's better, but like most of the time you won't. But like every
I
once in a
agree.
while you show up and someone's like, "Fuck it, why not?" Well, I'd like to see you get your ass kicked, which like maybe don't do, but also maybe do. I don't know. I
Just
have I have thoughts on throwing people into armor the first time into a fight.
yeah,
But
another topic. But
um,
I seriously recommend everyone get to whatever they can because the sport is still so new that every little event could completely change the way you play.
yeah,
Um, like the demo we did that I drove 6 hours to, we had no rail. We had a bunch of little like puzzle piece mats on the floor that kept sliding out from under us. So
nice.
one, our main concern was to stay on our feet, and two, if we fell, we wanted to make sure it wasn't on the like hard wood flooring of a gym
Yeah,
because that's real bad for your brain bucket.
I mean only if you land on your brain bucket. If you safety fall, you're fine, which is
Yeah,
super
we didn't
easy
know
to
how to do
do.
that at all.
Oh,
I had no idea how to do that until I came to the hall.
that's good.
That's something more people should learn, but I had no idea how to do at the time.
Uh, yeah, someone should probably make a video about that.
Probably, Mr. Content Creator here.
Paul, are you in here yet? We just teach brag falls. Yeah, exactly. Do they teach slapping out? Yeah, nope, nope. We
No,
don't.
I
Apparently,
had no idea what that was until I moved out here.
yeah. Oh, maybe when we did those big national events for that league that doesn't exist anymore, and like we taught everyone stuff, and we taught the basics every time. Would have been like a thing we could have done, maybe,
But how
possibly.
else am I going to learn about Echelon, Ringo?
Echelon. Some kid years ago came and did break balls, and I didn't get what they were for. What do you mean? You just said we should do break balls.
Yeah, he's talking about previously some new guy came, joined his team. He didn't know what it was for, but now he realizes how important it is. So like
Uh,
everybody should be doing it.
yeah, it is. And like honestly, ours are probably not like the same. Obviously, like it's hard to slap out in armor when someone's holding you. The biggest thing for us, I think, is that tuck the chin and try to not throw your hands straight out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because wrists, they get fucked
What?
up.
They're fine.
um. So yeah, I definitely the idea that people should be traveling for any event, I highly believe in. But it's hard to get out. Costs money. And like with vacation time, so like it feels like I mean you obviously put the sport first over a bunch of other things. So like, were there
I
any?
did for a while.
Yeah. So
A
were there
long
any
while.
drawbacks to going to all those things besides like, you know,
Oh, my
time?
family hated me quite often.
That's not a drawback.
um, I don't know. My overall social life was fine. I still got to see my normal friends, the normies, and everything, like during the week and stuff. But like weekend time was always for steel fighting for me when I was out there. Like Friday night, we might hit the bar if we didn't have training the next day for whatever reason. But like Thursday was the last night I would go out with my normie friends because Friday through Sunday was steel fighting and steel fighting friends. Like,
Yeah,
um,
which is better
I
than
think having
alcohol
that
anyway.
balance is important too. But like, I didn't really see the drawbacks because I had put steel fighting as such a priority at the time that I didn't feel like I was losing anything. But I think that's different for everyone too. So like, you can't really just go off of what one person says
Sure.
because like being a hobbyist is okay in this sport.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
It is okay.
Oh shit!
There are drawbacks to that,
Your
but
dad's
it is okay.
your dad's up in here right now.
Hey, are you going to go to practice this weekend, Dad?
The call outs are starting. Love it. No, it's definitely okay to be a hobbyist. It's okay to play at whatever level you want. Gotta make sure the juice is worth that squeeze. But like, yeah, you were in a great position because you came into it so young, right? Like you were 16 when you found it.
I was 18 when I found it, but then we started the team when I turned 19.
Okay, that's like 16. All teens are the same. Um, right. So, but like, so you got to get into it back when, like, you know, you like basically
I
still
was
a
one of
kid.
the first 3 registered to the ACL in the Midwest.
Always 16. Julie's still pushing it. I love it. I love it, Julie. Uh, yeah. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. I'm not sorry. Yeah. So, yeah. Coming in that early, like that's definitely gonna change and make it easier probably to like find the time because you don't have as many responsibilities.
Oh, I had like 0.
Yeah.
I still have like 0. Let's be real.
Nah, fuck. You fucking you bastard. um yeah, but like so like you were able to make it work, but you still like that was you said like every weekend that just became steel time. So then
Yeah.
if that's how someone wants to do it, it seems like you people have to make that choice of hobbyist or like is this a life in order to like make all of the stuff. But like if you were to get like would you say that hobbyists should try to find and like take the time to like if someone just wants to play locally, they're not going international, should they still do a 22-hour trip to go to nationals or
Absolutely.
okay.
Because playing locally is fun and everything, but the problem is you keep fighting the same people and you'll become stagnant. Like you'll start getting frustrated because everyone around you, if they're traveling, they're getting better. And yes, you'll pick up some stuff from them, but it's going to be different. It's going to be the second hand knowledge, like
Sure.
fourth hand knowledge coming from your teammates. Whereas if you go, even if it's like once, maybe twice a year, you do a big travel, or even once every other year, you can go into a larger event. You absolutely should
Yeah. Um
have realistic expectations about it. Like go there because you're wanting to learn. Because even our like top level like championship style fights and events, there you learn while you get your ass kicked. That's how I've always learned, at least.
yeah, it's you're getting your ass kicked is the best lesson. I highly believe that.
Like but it's okay if you're not trying to push to be a top level fighter and you're not going to every single seminar. You're not going, even if it's a shorter drive than the 22 hours, because there's plenty less than 22 hours. Even if you can't, like, it's okay, but you have to know that your information and everything you're going to be learning, you need to try to pick up from another source, whether it's all of the content that's being pushed on YouTube, everything like that. Because the more you train locally with those extra sources, you need to be able to basically keep up and keep expanding your own team. Because those guys that do travel, guys and girls that do travel, they'll they're going to need better people to train with at home. Because if we're only going to one big event every other year, we have to be keeping up every like practice. We need to be getting something new, expanding on something, so we don't stay at the same level. So travel just helps with that.
Was that a frustration that you had when you were regional commander?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was hard to get people to fight just within the own region. Um, I don't always know why. Some people just didn't want to do the 2.5 hour drive to Des Moines from Omaha or vice versa for backyard fights. But like, that's what's going to make everyone better.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always surprised me. It's like we have cats like you and I, uh, who will like take these big travels. Like I've gone halfway across the country to just to like be at an event, like nothing big, just to be there. Um, and there's other people who are like, I can't get anything together, and then like, sure, some of them are 6-7 hours away, but then you'll also find out some of them are like 2 hours away, and then I'm not sure how to get people to buy into this idea that this is a travel team. Like that's the only way really to do this, and that those events, the traveling to the little events, is as important, if not more important. I think it's more important than traveling to the big events. But I don't
I
know.
agree.
You think so? The traveling to
Yeah,
the littles.
I think it's more cost effective for the overall team to go to three little events within a more local range than saving up and going to one big event, because you get more fighting, more variety, and just overall more team dynamic going to those three little closer events than you do going to the nationals.
No.
The little team that goes to three local events is going to start getting better faster than them just practicing at home and going to the one big event.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing regular practices in between that, if team A is doing regular practice every week and they're staying on top of content that's coming on out online, if they're not competing outside of the nationals, they're not going to get as good as the other team that is regularly competing.
Yeah. I buy that 100%. All right, switching gears a little bit. What are oh, right. Also, Chris had a question. What lessons have you learned about traveling as a group?
It's kind of different because previously back in Nebraska, I always ended up traveling in small groups, or if we did go as the region, we would break up into smaller groups and go basically in waves, um, because it just made traveling easier for everyone. And I feel like we do this same thing here on the East Coast. We all have like an overall plan to be at this location at this time to meet up, make sure everyone's good and move forward. But like how and when you get there, as long as you're there, is up to you. So I think it's better too because like traveling is in itself its own experience. So like you want to hang out with your closer friends for that.
Yeah.
So having small groups, as long as everyone gets there, it's better.
Yeah. Uh,
Trying to organize for like a full team to travel all at once, hurting cats.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen. Just make a time and place for everyone to meet up and make sure everyone can get there and communicate if you're going to be late or something like that.
I mean, and you might lose someone along the way, but whatever. It's like Nam, you just keep going. You just don't look back. Brandon says party bus. I agree. It's the counter to that. The party bus is dope. And always stick Dad behind the wheel during the blizzard on the mountain. I believe that. I wouldn't want Mikey behind the wheel. He drives a truck with no brakes. Can't trust that man.
But it's gone through 2 northeast winters with no brakes, so I think I can handle the blizzard now.
Yeah. So what are some tips for domestic travel that you have?
Your clothes don't matter as much. I would always show up in like my rattiest but most comfortable sweatpants, t-shirt, and jacket. Because it's just, we're there for fighting. I'm not there to dress up and impress people, really. Like, that's just not who I am personally.
What about the suit and tie family dinner?
I don't think I even had a tie for that or a suit jacket. Like, I think I showed up with like black jeans and a button up. And Andre gave me shit for it.
I'm sure he did.
But whatever. If you're not a fan of musicals, you need to be a fan of musicals if you're doing long distance driving, because they eat up the time better than any other music choice.
Okay.
Like, if you're just like jamming along with a full musical soundtrack in order, that's a good hour, 2 hours gone.
All right. Nice.
You hardly even notice.
That's a good tip right there. I hadn't even thought about that.
Don't listen to my dad and don't play ICP. Dear God.
Accurate points.
But like, the focus for domestic travel should be more on making sure all of your gear is ready before you leave, and that way you can have the smallest amount of repair stuff packed, because the more weight you can drop when you're flying, the better. And if you're driving, the more weight you drop technically equals more gas mileage, blah blah blah. But also, the less bags you have to fit into a car, therefore more people you can fit into a car, therefore more people can go to the event, and it's better for your whole team.
Yeah, true.
Sardines in a small can. It works.
So 1 set of clothes.
Like 2 sets. And make sure the hotel you're staying at has a washer and dryer. Ooh. Then you're set.
Yeah, there you go. Figured it out.
You have your fight clothes and you have your not fighting clothes.
You mean your Gambison? What other fight clothes are there?
I mean, I have a pair of shorts that holds my cup. I try to wash that between fights, but like...
Oh yeah, that's fair.
You, Ringo.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd wash your cup. It's plastic. But
not the cup, the shorts.
Air travel. Tips for air travel. You got any?
It sucks. Be at the airport like an hour and a half early at the latest. I've scooted by it like half an hour before my flight takes off.
Oh yeah.
If as long as you're really well dressed, you're fine. But like, that's not my normal MO.
Yeah. They're better about not going through your carry-on and being like, what is this armor? But like, there's a good chance they're gonna pull it out and talk to you about it.
Yeah. If you can, try to, like, if you go through the same airport regularly, you'll start seeing the same TSA agents. Try to get in that line if you can. Because they'll be like, oh, I've seen this before. It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some places are getting weird about gauntlets in your carry-on. I've only had one issue, and it took like 10 minutes, and then they eventually just waved it through anyway. But I had information about the tournament ready.
Yeah.
So that also really helped.
That's smart.
I don't have a lot of experience packing long weapons, because up until I moved out here, I didn't really mess with axes at all because I'm bad at them.
Yeah.
Still am, but I'm working on it.
Good.
Um,
Everyone should use axes, whether you're bad at them or not. Axes are dope.
I mean, axes are the best. All axes all the time.
Yeah, only axes.
Like my mom said, get your mom to buy you a ski bag for Christmas. She got me this really dope one that I should be able to fit like almost my entire suit of armor in, and pole arms up to 6 feet. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, snowboard case is Brandon saying. The other thing I've seen people do is you just bring the heads and go early enough that you can go get some poles there and rehab them. Like
I have very fancy poles coming, so that's
yeah. It depends on what you do. Like if you do rattan, you could also have and like also like how rich you are that you like can just throw away poles. But
yeah.
That like if you can throw away an extra $50, like that saves you $50 in baggage.
That's true.
Because they sometimes charge you extra for the ski case or the snowboard case. Sometimes they don't. It depends. But yeah, you can order rattan if someone's nearby and have it sent there, or whatever type of haft. Or like you might be able to just go in and find a lumber yard and grab whatever thing. Wheelbarrow handles, they work. You can use that to haft your shit.
Use those a few times. Because those are like $10.
Yeah. If you the Russians just use trees. They just put them on trees.
Yeah.
Or is it the Ukrainians?
Very historical.
So
but you know, if you purposely bend your handle, that's not authentic. So like
no. Of course not. You can't actually try to add utility yourself. It has to be utility you find.
Yes.
Making things better, it's not a thing they did in the Middle Ages. They didn't make things. Of
course not.
No. Why would they do that? Ever. Find the guy who's fighting polearm singles and buying on this long bag. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
If he's near you.
Yeah.
Micah doesn't live near me.
Yeah. Work together as a team to get your bags all within weight and have wiggle room, because when you fly back, your gear might still be sweaty.
Ooh.
So I always try to shoot for 4 pounds-ish under the 50 pound limit. So I'd shoot for 45, 46 pounds. That way I also have any room for any like trophies, medals, other things I might acquire while I'm there.
You can just leave those. They're not important.
They look really nice on my wall.
Yeah.
You're the one who always talks about how gold looks better and it matters more than
it does. Armor. It looks good ephemerally. Like you just get it, but then you just throw it away. It's like when the rappers throw all the money. It's like that, except they're not actually throwing that money. They pick it up later and give it to someone. If you just throw your medal away, it's actually like whatever.
All right, Ringo. Whatever you say.
Let's talk about.
Yes, Brandon. I do normally wear my medal home. That's always been a thing. No matter what medal I win, I'll like put it on the belt for TSA, but that's the only time I take it off.
Yeah, I do not do that. I wear it for like a day, and then it's gone. What's up, Josh? How you doing? So you moved out here. You lived in Nebraska, and now you're on the East Coast. What was involved in that?
I came out to visit you and some other friends for Christmas, like 2.5 years ago now, and y'all convinced me to stay, so I did.
I mean, you were theoretically supposed to be moving out here anyway.
I was planning to move out here anyway at some point. I was thinking this summer after the Christmas you guys stole me, but like I hadn't set up any plans. I just stayed, and then I stayed here for 3 months before I flew back home, collected all my shit, and drove out, which was another like 22-hour drive, but this time by myself.
Nice.
It sucked.
Ugh.
I did stop for that one.
Yeah, I imagine. I came here to listen to make money and make fun of Andre, and I'm deaf. We already made fun of Andre a little bit. He's the new Trump of this.
The ACW is huge, Josh.
It's huge. It's the hugest league. We rolled the best events. Our crowds were the best crowds.
Yeah,
Man.
so I moved out with like zero planning done,
Cool.
and I don't recommend that aspect for anybody.
That wasn't a good idea.
Plan everything out, please.
Was it overall a good idea though? Moving out here, you still?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, I don't regret it. Like I miss my friends and family back in Omaha, but like everything I have here is like what I've been wanting for a while. So overall, it's a win.
So you support people moving for fighting then? You think that like if people can pull it off, it's a good idea?
Yeah, if people can plan it out better than I did, which does not take much. If you literally plan anything, you're good. If you can plan it out, get your life set up in your new location before you move, it's going to go a lot smoother than it did for me. And my biggest thing would be try to keep connections with your friends from your original home, because sudden cutoff is not good for mental health. It's not a great time, but eventually you start working into a pattern and everything's fine in your new home and everything gets sorted out like a year and a half after you do the move.
All right, so we know some things you wish you'd done differently, kept in touch more, planned it out. What are some things you got right about moving out here?
My steel fighting career overall, I personally think I tripled in my abilities just by being at a more active location and having a regular training spot. Like I can finally do more than just keep that big guy over there busy and running around a lot. I could actually like do a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And being able to be around more people that put steel fighting as such a high importance in their life and being at that competitive edge, just it like rekindled a lot of the emotions I have for the sport, because I love you guys out in the Midwest, but god damn, it was killing me. Dying out.
Julie, buy a house a mile. Do like you buy a house a mile from the hall. Aren't you selling your house? I thought you told me you were trying to sell that place. Oh, is that what you're saying? Is this you trying to get someone to buy your house?
They're trying to get me to buy their house.
I get it.
I don't have that money, and I don't think that's going to be good for the drive to and from work.
No.
The new gig.
No, probably not.
But
it's just the Midwest, a slow, painful death. Jesus Christ. Oh,
you're not wrong, Chad. You're not wrong.
Fuck it. Shots fired. Yeah. Woof. All right. On that note, what was the hardest part of relocating for fighting?
Having the sudden cut off from any normal life. Like I used to have some kind of a balance where I had my old high school friends. We did a lot of like our old gaming and everything, and I had like my memories with them and everything. And then I moved out to the East Coast where I knew you guys from events and I knew you guys from steel fighting.
Yeah.
And that's about all we had.
Right.
So like everything had to shift gears because that's what the environment was for me. I didn't have the fallback, hey, let's go to our favorite bar. I still don't know what bars are around in the Northeast because, like, I know Peddler's Daughter, and that's like it.
Yeah, but that's all you need to know.
That's
Nooch.
like it.
The Nooch. You should know the Nooch.
I've never even heard of that.
You've been there. You've drunk with me there.
I don't remember it, so we drank good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like everything kind of changed because like steel fighting was important to me out in the Midwest, but then I came out to where steel fighting was important out here in the Northeast.
Yeah. Just
And like
working
I had to
train.
play catch up for a while, and like I still am. I'm trying to find my balance with like a career and everything like that and home life now again. Yeah, you say that, but like you have a decent career where you make good money. I'm just starting that.
Yeah. Also, like, as soon as this is over, and be like, definitely focus on your career. This is definitely.
Yeah, you're gonna text me that. I know. But um now that I'm up in Maine, I'm starting to help build up here. Like, I'm still able to come down on the weekends to New Hampshire and really focus on training with like the training of the Knights Hall and everything. But I still find that I'm finding the like newness of being in Maine very similar to being out in the Midwest where we just built the team. Like having that influence, seeing new people and helping them has always been one of my favorite things. Um, Being in the sport for so long and having the janky armor I've had before, I don't want anyone ever to be in that position again.
Well,
I
yeah.
know you have an argument about like being in crap armor for a while, but
Yeah,
like,
not your
no,
crap armor. You fought in illegal helm for a year.
yeah, but like, I didn't know that until we went to IMCF, and like, the English couldn't do shit to it, so like, fuck them.
You hear that, Pavel? Not that he's watching.
Not that he's watching, but he was there, and he was one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Um. Uh. Diethius? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Dieth whatever. Asks anything you recommend buying for training at home.
The number one thing I would buy would be one of those foot ladders.
Ah!
It's just simple to throw it out on the ground and be able to work on your footwork. And then number two thing would be a Pell and a stick. Doesn't have to be a fancy stick. I really don't care. The fancy stick is the third thing you get. But like footwork and stance and then how to strike.
Yeah.
Shout out, the Knights Hall has online classes that can help with that. If you
Yeah.
want to look that up.
Accurate.
Um,
Big fan of the
Jay
agility
is
ladders.
really, really good about how to strike and everything, so I recommend it. He hits real good.
He hit real good. Or stick in children. Ooh, that's.
I mean, that's kind of how I grew up learning how to fight. I have a lot of siblings. We had a lot of boffer weapons. I beat them up a lot.
Okay. All right.
That's why I'm so good at longsword, bro. I beat up a lot of kids.
You beat up
I
children.
beat a lot of children who were smaller than me as a child.
Well, this is okay. I'm never gonna be allowed to adopt now.
Why were you trying? Like,
No, but like supporting child abuse on the stream probably not.
no, it was always consensual. There were rules. We couldn't hit each other if they didn't have a weapon. So like, drop your weapon. You're no longer a target. It was safe-ish.
Ish.
Weapons broke. We stopped the fights.
How much did an active year cost you out in the Midwest?
Active year out in the Midwest. Not counting armor or counting armor?
Just the travel. Like the travel.
Just travel. Full year, I want to say I would probably drop close to 1,000 in travel just for in the Midwest.
Right. Versus here, how much are you spending on travel?
A lot more because I'm driving 2.5 hours every weekend.
That's
one way.
Woof.
I'm driving from Omaha to Des Moines once every weekend right now.
Weird. It's almost like it's easy to get together.
I know.
Make that thing happen.
Shout out to my boy Logan Bollinger out there in Iowa. He's been traveling a lot for a lot of different training things. So
nice.
Shout out to him because he's been doing it.
Good. Maybe he'll get the ball rolling out there. I hadn't heard much about the Iowa team um, at all. But
That's fair.
yeah, honestly, right
Pretty
now
quiet.
the only Midwest teams I know are the Kansas City team, Tulsa, and then Minneapolis, and I'm fucking blanking on it. Uh, Chicago.
Mm, that's fair.
Yeah.
The actual like middle has been really quiet for a while
Yeah.
lately.
There was a team in Omaha. I haven't heard from them in a while. Uh,
They have practice.
do they?
Yeah, Tyler Schwartz runs practice in Omaha every weekend
Nice. Good.
because Bryant is currently in Germany for a work thing.
Okay.
But yeah, they hold practice in Omaha. I know there's practices in Des Moines. Um, Shelby, I can tell you're so happy about Tyler running all the practices. but
Um.
yeah,
All right. What are some tips you have on saving money on travel, since that's a big thing people talk about?
meal prep.
Hmm.
Eating out because you're traveling is one of the most expensive parts of it.
Yeah.
It's
Fucking
also really bad for you because fast food just is bad for you.
yeah. Don't eat at fast food. Go get a nice steak.
Yeah, but like I can only drive and eat certain things.
Steak with your hands. Hand steak.
But yeah, meal prepping and getting your snacks and such before you start the drive because gas stations and stuff cost you way more. Um, just like prepping the little things, finding a place you can crash rather than a hotel helps a ton. As my dad said, chalky milk, you get a gallon of that. That'll last you a good long while for the drive.
Perfect.
It's also
That's
great for recovery after the tournament
it. Definitely
or
won't.
practice or whatever.
Yeah, you definitely won't be bad halfway through.
No, because the chalky milk's not going to last the whole trip. It's not the gal. It's not like a gallon challenge, but like you handle
But
that
it
chalky milk
is. But it
quick.
is a gallon
You handle
challenge.
it pretty quick, and you save on snacks because you are not hungry after drinking a gallon of chalky milk.
Yeah. Um.
But yeah, meal prepping ahead of time, getting your snacks and everything in order, um, keeping to the highway as much as you can because you get better gas mileage there. Finding a place to crash, like another teammate's place, everybody pooling together for a large Airbnb. Some of those Airbnbs have some of the best stories. Like sometimes you remember the Airbnb more than you remember the tournament. Just throwing that out there. So like, go for Airbnb over hotel if you can. They get wild.
Get a little wild up in here. No, don't pay your tolls. That's a lie.
Well, when you're driving at at the time your fiance's car, you should pay the tolls.
No, you definitely shouldn't, because then she gets charged, not you.
Yeah, that's the problem because uh,
Road bacon. Ooh, road bacon sounds like a great idea. Um. All right. How has traveling for rents cost you mentally or physically?
they're exhausting,
Okay.
especially when your father plays ICP.
Well,
Like like a whole album. Okay, it gets bad.
you're brain dead now.
Like, and you can't sleep through it either because it's ICP.
No.
But like the problem with it is a lot of the times you have to choose between safe traveling and getting there and your time off work or the expense of it. Like sometimes I couldn't afford the extra day of driving to get to an event, so we drove through the night, and so I was tired, like drained for the tournament itself, and
Yeah.
that's not great for you at all. Because then you have other problems during the tournament that makes driving back even worse because normally you have less time to drive back than you do to get there. It's a bad time. You always think you're going to get up early on that Sunday and start driving early. You don't. You just don't.
That's
Don't plan on getting up early enough to start driving
that's a
at a
good
decent
tip.
rate.
That is a very
You
good
don't.
tip. You will not. You will not do it.
Especially if Kat is throwing a party. You just don't. You
Yeah.
don't get up in time.
No.
There have been multiple times I've had to stay up past the party and just stay awake to make sure I get to my flight on time because otherwise I know I'm not going to. There's no chance. I show up to the airport still drunk because I've just been drinking to stay awake through the night. Like,
Yeah.
it gets bad sometimes, but you have to know that stuff ahead of time.
You have to know that you're putting in the work. Your liver is gonna pay for it so that you can make it to work.
Yeah. You'll sleep on the plane. It's fine. And if you can't sleep on planes, don't get that drunk.
Don't go to the cat party. That's the
Yeah. They're great parties, though, by the way. Take Monday off work if you can.
Yeah, who's got vacation for that?
Yeah, like, I took the vacation time to get to the tournament. I don't have more to get home.
Julie, I don't know how to do emotes, nor do I know what I would make for emotes. I keep thinking, like, what do I even do? Like, what do
Talk to Alex.
Who?
Alex Doe.
Okay.
Talk to him.
I
He'll
talk
make
to him a
like
lot.
a whole bunch. Well, talk to him about this specifically so that you can get a bunch of just memes of different fighters and emotes.
We'll have emotes when he's on the channel in like a month.
Perfect.
Or not. Or he'll just be like, no, fuck you. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Mom, the reason I have problems coming home from events is because normally I didn't want to go home from events. But events don't last long now.
Get trash cans? Alright. How do I do that, Kraken?
I mean, mine just like blew away today, so it's out there somewhere.
I'm not driving to Maine for it.
You could, though.
I'm not.
We've got armor to work on.
I do. Fuck. We have to figure out when I'm coming up for that. Alright. Are there any other costs outside of the that we've gone over for physical, mental that you can think of?
You're gonna have to buy more phone chargers. Get an extra phone charger.
Yes.
You either lose or break one
God.
almost every trip, and save yourself the time and just get at least one 6-foot one. Yes, you're in the passenger or driver's seat right there 2 feet from the plug, but without the 6-foot cord, you're not going to find your phone. You just don't.
No. You'll probably lend it to someone. They're gonna keep it. You'll never get it back.
Paul, what are you asking me about titanium sabotons? I think yes. If you get sabotons, you should go titanium if you can, because like, how often do you really get hit in the foot? But if you're asking me to make you titanium sabotons, no.
Also, like, you should, Paul. You just need to like get a shoulder, and that's your sabotons. Like,
maybe
your feet are big enough; it'll fit.
Paul, I don't have patterns for sabotons. I don't have a great way to shape that much of a dishing point. It's just that's gonna make me put more work into it, and I've already got like 3 full like titanium dueling kits to make. Julie, we have to do the next payment for our Sabaton order here this week because the queue is hitting up. We got pushed back because of a family thing for Red Snake. But I have been in communications and we're all good for that.
Angsta, I don't know about Wide, but Paul just was working with GoHurt to get them to make giant shoes for his giant feet. And I'm trying to convince him to make them name it after him. But maybe go talk to them, because they're now making giant shoes for giant people.
Also, remember, when you get leather shoes for steel fighting, you're going to want to soak them in the lukewarm water and wear them until they're dry. That will make them fit to your feet more. Put your insoles in after you soak them, put them back on, and then wear them until you're dry if you put insoles in. I've always found that helps them stick to my feet and my overall grip to the ground better. But your mileage may vary.
Brandon, you don't need to bring extra socks so I can fight. I can fight without socks. I do it all the time. I just would prefer socks if you have them. And if you don't, I'll just go barefoot in my shoes. It's all right. It happens. Um, yeah. Anything else you want to bring up?
Um, Side note: always double check with at least 2 to 3 veterans before you buy any armor.
I meant about travel, but okay.
I mean, that's fair, but
It's a good
armor
point.
is always a headache. And always talk to your people about what you want to have, and don't just settle for the first kit you can get. But I
Don't just
digress.
settle for it, but like think
You
about it.
might settle for it
Yeah.
anyway, but
Like
like,
that's the thing. Think about it. Don't just not settle for it either. Like
yeah.
my only thing about the check with the vets is I don't trust half the vets. So
That's
but
why I say
don't check with me either cuz I also don't know what's up.
literally anyone can message me on Facebook. They can talk to me about armor.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
And if you don't like Mikey for some reason, Micah will do the same thing.
Yeah.
There's only M people though.
I'm an asshole, so like I totally get it if you don't like me.
So is Micah
But
though.
I mean, yes, but good chance you like one of us.
Yeah, it's a good point. So it's either Micah or Mikey. You got to pick.
Paul says he will too, but he's also an asshole. I mean that in the nicest way possible, Paul. Please don't kill me. But yeah, there's always people to talk to. And if there's more questions about travel, like talk to your local guys too, because they might have their own tricks on how to get things through, make it easy. Like Andrew Dion, he made this amazing like post about flying with your armor and everything. I'm pretty sure it's in the announcement sections of the Armored Combat Sports community page on Facebook.
Ooh, cool.
It's a great post. It has pictures,
How to
has
like
all this
fold all your
armor.
stuff
Like
together.
it's not how to fold it, but like once it's folded, where it goes in the different bags and everything, and it makes it really easy. I do something very very similar to his. It's awesome. I definitely encourage everyone to check that out. And yeah,
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's kind of all we got on that. I probably missed some things, but um so we're at the end. In the end of the stream, we give a recommendation. So Michael, do you have a recommendation you'd like to give the people?
I'm going to recommend everybody use the Coach's Eye app. It's great. You can upload any video recording to it, and then you can slow mo it down to like 1/8 speed and watch your form with everything you do. I need to get back to using it more regularly, but I used to do it for my Pell work so I could break down like making sure my hips were moving properly, everything like that. I was using it in my classes when we were doing more focused sparring, because then I'd be able to go back and slow mo it and be like, hey, your leg is moving in this direction. Is there a way we can work on that? Is that part of how your body works? And if so, can we work around that in a way to keep the form and your guard better? But it's a free app. There is a payment option. It is free, but you can't record on it. So
Oh,
you can look at everything for free that you do,
I think
but you can't
there
record
must be.
over it.
I think there must be two apps then.
Well, there's the payment within it. There's basically like a premium option of the app, at least in Android. I don't know. You use
Oh
Apple.
yeah, it
For Android,
it
it's
wasn't
free.
on Android when I originally looked for it.
So on Android, it's free. Um, but there's also the premium one where you could actually record over it. So captains, instructors, things like that, you could record over it, send it to your whole team, basically giving a slow-mo example of everything that's happening, even if they're not at practice that day or if you're doing an online discussion, something like that.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it. Coach's Eye, great app.
yeah.
Do it.
It's if you have Apple, buy the $4 or $5 version. You can record. It lets you draw on it like you're John Madden. It's dope. That's honestly what I use for 90% of the stuff I put up.
Real quick, now that Bear's here, I want to point out that Authenticity Committee sucks, and it's one of the worst things in the sport.
Oh man.
It's true.
I feel like you guys need to have a fight about this. But like,
I mean, you gotta kick his ass first.
But like you have to fight in perfect period stuff, and Bear has to fight in only non-AC approved.
Beautiful. Let's trade kits. Let's go.
We're reversing it. Yeah. So my recommendation this week is Robin Black's Instagram, Robin Black MMA, I believe is what it is. Dude does quick, funny breakdowns on details of very small moments in MMA fights. And he gives you like really intricate thoughts on what the fighters are doing, how they're setting up traps, how they're generating power. It's articulate, it's funny, it's informative. It's not like a super long thing because they're all short videos, so it's not the most in depth, but it's very in depth for like the minute long that he gives. So yeah, everyone should do that. Argentina equals penis punching. Jesus fucking Christ. What? Jesus wasn't homosexuals? What the fuck is going on right now?
I have no idea. I don't know who that is. But I also second the Instagram that Ringo just threw out there because it's hilarious.
Do I kick this motherfucker? I don't know what's going on. Probably. Yeah. That's that. Signing out. Don't forget, if you're a Patreon, you get to send me videos or questions. So if you have any, send them over. If you want to support the channel, please either subscribe here or back me there. If you want to support but don't want to put money down because you're broke or like you just don't want to put money down, just share my shit. Like me on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, add me on Instagram, follow my blog. I'm Trash Night Ringo, pretty much everywhere. Brandon says follow Medieval Athlete. You should do that. You should follow Paul the Barbarian. He's down there. I don't know where I'm pointing it.
Somewhere.
Bear's also down here in this chat window. You should follow him, Bear Blackspear, on YouTube. Mikey doesn't have anything, but you should follow him anyway.
I got rid of all that.
You should follow him though. He's gonna make me.
I had most people on Facebook. Let's be real.
Yeah, and you should do that. Follow Red Snake. Mikey likes Red Snake.
Red Snake is a great armorer. I do recommend him.
Oh, follow
almost all of my kit is from him.
Good point. Follow Josh Carnage as well, the real Josh Carnage. He's starting to put up videos, breakdowns. Probably other people. It's probably other people. Don't follow Julie. You'll get lost. That's bad. Don't do that. Getting lost can be fun though. Cool. I think that's it. You got anything else besides? Want to take last shot at Andre? Want to take a last shot at Andre?
Yeah, of course. Like, Andre, unblock me. Just come fight me. Fight sometime at all on U.S. soil, and you might get a little bit more respect.
Oh, man. So I went ham on ACW today, but they asked for it.
I'm not sorry at all.
They asked for it.
They asked for it, and I'm pretty sure they have me, like, banned from it because, like, I dissed Andre too much, and it's going to keep happening.
Yeah. It costs $50 to mention his name. It hurts. It hurts so good. All right.
You can always just allude to him by calling him the steel fighting Trump.
I like it. All right. We out. Peace, y'all.
Night, everybody. Well, they can't see us at the very least. Yeah. I had the chat pulled up rather than the talking points. You should like color code each bullet.
Oh, still hear us.
SteelTrump.com. No, that's just Falcon Armories, Brandon. Alright, Bear likes it when lights are off.